Hi everyone, it's Dan here, and I am here for, a video, to be quite honest, like I really haven't made before. Um, it is time where I am unpacking some very huge gifts that I've been given. Many of you know I am a student and coach with Twin Flames Universe. It's um, an incredible community led by Jeff and Shalia that is essentially bringing heaven to earth. And my twin flame and I, Deanna, um, spent the last 6 months serving Jeff and Shalia through a program called Boot Camp. And this was just a way to, basically, the exchange was loving service, and our gurus, Jeff and Shalia, helped us to receive deep insight into who we are. Um, and we recently um, left the program to begin our next leg of the journey. And so it's time for me to start unpacking this gift. And it's pretty deep. So there's the disclaimer. And there will probably be a series of videos on this. I just want to start with first I want to start with I reached some huge blocks while I was there. And I'm beginning to get some insight into what was going on. Essentially, I was projecting a great deal of unhealed Christianity, Catholicism, and my experience not only in this lifetime but many lifetimes. I couldn't understand why I could be in such a beautiful place and experience so much resistance and so much just challenge within myself come up. And so Jeff and Shalia gave me some excellent insight into this that I want to share with you. I'm still unpacking it, but this is helping me to go deeper. One of the last messages I received, this is going to be pretty deep. I already knew this. They had told me about a year ago that that I'm a minister at heart, and that I've been that for many lifetimes. And I knew, of course, that was the first career I ever pursued. Many of you may know I was in seminary, Catholic seminary, to become a priest, my first thing out of high school. And I left that after a year because God revealed to me that I had a much bigger purpose to pursue, and something didn't quite feel right with that. And that's a whole other story I might go into at some point. But yeah, he kept giving me clues along this line. He also, through a friend, shared that he received a revelation. This is Jeff. Not only that I'd been a minister in past lives, but my block around homosexuality and being gay came from being a priest in these lifetimes, where I thought, really believed with all my heart that Jesus Christ was my twin flame. And that, of course, something I'm still unpacking to this day. And, there's a lot to unpack there around, of course, homosexuality in Catholicism and the priesthood. For me, and for many priests who experience this, that could be a window into healing. Because a priest does view, in a lot of ways, Jesus as their twin flame. They choose to be celibate, and they dedicate their lives to Jesus. And so that was a revelation I received about a year ago. And so to take us present as you could say, a really profound gift at the end of my boot camp experience. And this is where it's going to get pretty deep. I'm still unpacking this, but it's just so rich. He explained, that a big cause of so much of the internal struggle that I've experienced is through these many lifetimes as a priest, where I essentially was a dumping ground for people. Now, I understand this to be like, he didn't give the details of why I was dumping ground for people. He just essentially said that that I was a dumping ground where people would pour their evil into me, and then they would leave happy and satisfied. And I was essentially being raped over and over and over again by thinking that it was my responsibility to take on people's negativity. And I believed it was God's will because people would leave joyful and they would leave happy. And so this actually created this really dark hatred and evil that was buried in my soul through having to take on this kind of energy. Now, of course, being able to put together the pieces that I was a priest in past lifetimes, what God intuitively told me was this is what happened in confessional. People coming to me in confessions, and my role is to take that on. And there could have been other ways I'm not aware of, but it's that old notion in Christianity. It's actually not true for why Jesus was crucified, but it's this notion that to take on the suffering of the world is noble. But he pointed out in this communication that it's actually evil to do so because it perpetuates evil, to allow myself to be abused in that way. And of course, in Twin Flames Universe, we learn that abuse isn't real unless you abuse yourself. You can experience that. So I had chosen to experience that kind of abuse, thinking it was God's will. And he went deeper to say, this is why you feel a dissonance with me, because I never accept the pain of your pain or the pain of anyone. Do not accept it. And so, but you see that I'm a man of God. You see that I shine with the light of God. So there's a dissonance. How do I not follow what you deep down think a man of God must do? I discipline. That's what Jeff does. He disciplines evil. He disciplines, and he never lets that in his sphere. He points it out, which is actually what Jesus did too. He was not a dumping ground for people's evil. No, he disciplined it. And so he said, of course, since you conclude, you've seen my life. You've not only been a member of my school, but you've lived intimately for 6 months, and you see I'm a man of God. So since you know I am not demonic, well, then it leads you to conclude that you must be the one. But then you know my teaching, which is that all are beloved children of God. And so there's this huge dissonance that you're experiencing between what you've known all of these lifetimes and what you're experiencing now through this movement where there's only heaven. And his invitation was for me to go deep into this healing, that I may heal this, essentially a demon in my heart that thought that my role was to be this, that I may be God's sanctuary again. And this is the healing that I'm undertaking right now. And it's taking me very deep into just really healing notions around Christianity that don't serve, that I'm willing to look at, see, and let go. Because there's much about Christianity that did serve me. Jesus' love, his forgiveness, his service to others, his compassion. I mean, there's so much in Christianity that I benefited from. But over time, I realized there's been notions mixed in that were never meant to be part of Jesus' ministry or teaching. And those are the things that I'm healing and I'm sharing with you. Because they're deep, they've impacted my life in ways that I wasn't even conscious of. And that was one of many gifts I received at boot camp, was becoming conscious of these things. I wasn't able to see why, in so many ways, my service wasn't able to be fully loving there because I was holding a hidden resentment that needed to be healed. And so this is something I'm going to continue to go deeper in. I believe it's part of my mission, because the mission of Twin Flames Universe is meant to extend to the whole planet. And much of the planet is Christian, and so this is a lot of what needs to be healed. Twin Flames Universe teaches that we're meant to be supremely happy. We're meant to create our heaven on earth, to live our life purpose with our twin flame, our true love, to live a life of complete and utter joy in every way. And this is the teaching I now take on and espouse. It's the teaching of the Church of Union, which is the church that's formed out of this movement. And so, of course, this is leading me to really deep healing, and getting more clear on what in my upbringing and my past has not resonated with this, that needs to be overhauled. And it's the notion that sacrifice is noble, that to sacrifice myself serves another. This is not true. You do not serve another by denying yourself, because you and your brother are one. You must love yourself. That is the tenet of Twin Flames Universe and Church of Union. You love yourself. That is how you know what it is to love your brother. And you don't take on evil, you discipline evil, so that your soul may remain in its natural state. Your natural state is purity, oneness with God, joy, love, peace. This is who we are. They have a saying, only love is real and love never fails. That means that you can live only in God's love, and any energies that are out of alignment with that discipline, say no to, reject. Never take that energy on. And so there's a lot to heal here, because a core thing of Christianity is that Jesus decided to take on this deep suffering for humanity, to heal it, essentially. Jeff speaks to this, and I don't know if I will be able to relay it perfectly to you, but this is the misunderstanding of what the crucifixion truly is. He explained that Jesus knew the truth, that abuse isn't real. You can only experience abuse if you believe in it. Jesus was enlightened, was awakened, and so he knew that abuse wasn't real. So he proved that through the crucifixion. The world sought to kill him, kill his spirit, a world that believed in abuse. He did not. So he actually, because he didn't believe in it, did not experience abuse. He brought God completely into that experience and only experienced God's love and God's grace and God's purity. And because he brought so much love where the world was trying to bring hate, but he did not. He only brought love, and he only experienced love there. And because of that purity, he was able to reveal to the world the truth. He rose, he resurrected, because he was never truly harmed. Harm does not exist unless you believe in it. God doesn't create harm. God only creates love. And so this very notion will be hugely healing for Christianity. For those that don't know, Church of Union is the faith bringing heaven on earth. But you don't have to give up your faith to be a unionist. You can be a Christian unionist. And the teachings of unionism help heal as you embrace them, whatever might be out of alignment with the faith that you brought up with. It just doesn't feel good, that doesn't serve you, so that you can live it in its completeness. And that's what I'm doing with Christianity. As someone who has grown up with Christianity, adored Christianity for so much of my life, adored Jesus. And yet I'm called to unionism because it's taking me to that next level, to my heart's truest desire, which is the creation of heaven on earth, beginning with me. I met my twin flame through Twin Flames Universe. I discovered my life purpose through this movement. I'm discovering how to purify my consciousness through this movement. It's giving me all the tools I need. And so for me, it's embracing where God has taken me and healing my foundation. My foundation is Christianity. Bringing it into alignment with this new and more profound truth that God has given me, that there's a higher way, that one can walk as a Christ on the earth, which is the mission of everyone. When you come together in harmonious union with your twin flame, you become a Christ, which is one who bears the light of God to share with the world. That is who twin flames are. They're God's perfect creation of love. And this is the next revelation, you could say. And of course, in that love, all that is out of alignment with love must be healed. And that is, why I'm receiving so much deep healing, so that I can extend that healing. And I have a strong desire to extend healing to all who have grown up with Christianity. And when I say healing, it's not, of course, all the things that have been good, you keep those. But if there's anything that has not served you, I seek to bring light and to bring healing there, that we can have only a relationship with God that feels good, that feels in the light, that feels of love. So I think that pretty much concludes this first message on this subject. And like I said, expect many more, because in truth, Christianity is a huge passion of mine, and I desire to experience it in the light of unionism, in the light of perfect truth, perfect understanding of who God is, which is only love, only pure being, only light. So look forward to more wonderful videos moving forward. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye now.